It was Christmas Eve when her call came. Her tone was casual, too casual. "We're keeping dinner small this year," my mother-in-law said, each word dripping with politeness that always felt like poison. "Just family, you understand. Family," she added, her favorite word. I stared at the empty plate before me, my nephew's tiny hand wrapped around mine. He was drawing something, probably a snowman. In his eyes, I glimpsed his mother's smile, my sister's smile, shining through. Then she said it. "Only real grandchildren at dinner. Don't bring that boy." I didn't answer. I just sat there, listening to the silence that followed, noting how satisfied she sounded having spoken aloud. I hung up, texted her one word. Understood. Then I sat, staring at the blinking lights on the tree. Each dark space seemed to echo her voice, her tone, her casual cruelty. My nephew looked up. "Uncle, are we going to Grandma's tomorrow?" I smiled softly. "No, kiddo. Grandma's busy." He nodded, small and trusting. He didn't know what had just happened, but I did. When my sister died, I promised I would keep him safe, from the world, from pity, from people who value bloodlines over love. My wife's mother never accepted it. In public, she'd smile at him. In private, she'd whisper to my wife, "He's not yours. Don't let him grow up thinking he is." I ignored it for years, telling myself not to fight battles beneath me. But there's a limit to calm. Watching a child you love be denied the love he deserves can crack even the strongest shell. That night, I watched my wife set the table. 2 plates, 2 wine glasses, a faint smile barely touching her lips. Mom said she's making roast duck, she said lightly, avoiding my gaze. She's just old-fashioned. Old-fashioned? I repeated the word silently. It tasted like rust. She didn't meet my eyes. She just shrugged, turned up the music, and poured the wine. That's when I realized she wasn't just enduring her mother's cruelty. She was complicit in it. I said nothing. I had learned the power of silence. I tucked my nephew in, listening as he whispered goodnight to a mother he would never see again, and went downstairs. My wife laughed on the phone with her mother. "Yeah," she said. "It's fine. He understands." "We'll open presents there in the morning," her mother replied. I stood in the doorway, watching her reflection in the window, calm, polished, empty. The rest of the night, I didn't sleep. I made lists, things that mattered, things that didn't. Her name shifted from one side to the other before dawn. At 2 a.m., I drafted a message. Drafted, deleted, rewrote. Simple, calculated. Scheduled for 9 a.m. Christmas morning. Then I wrapped her mother's gift, small, metallic, painfully symbolic. The next morning, my wife left early, dressed in red, humming a Christmas tune. I stayed behind with my nephew. We built a snowman in silence. The world felt fragile, suspended. By noon, the message came. A photo from my wife, her mother opening presents, face bright with joy. Then another, her expression frozen mid-smile, confusion creeping in. The box didn't hold jewelry or perfume. It held a phone, her phone, the one I had quietly borrowed the night before, copied every contact, set to auto-dial me. 56 missed calls later, the phone froze. Each call time-stamped, unanswered. And beneath my number, the contact name I added. The boy's dad. "What is this supposed to mean?" she asked, trembling. I kept my voice calm. "It means every second you ignore that boy." I remembered. "Are you threatening me?" she snapped. "No," I said. "I'm reminding you. Every time you look at your phone, every missed call is a second you refuse to be human." She hung up. My wife called, furious, defensive, desperate. I didn't answer. Some truths don't need discussion. They only need silence long enough to echo. That night, my nephew slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. I watched him, chest rising and falling steady and calm. I thought of my sister, how she'd trusted me to keep him safe, not just from danger, but from cruelty disguised as tradition. My phone buzzed once more. A message from my wife. "You went too far." I didn't reply. I turned the phone face down and whispered into the quiet. "No, I just went far enough." Outside, snow fell again. The world was silent, untouched, white. And for the first time that Christmas, so was I. Some people learn through love. Others only understand the sound of a phone that never stops ringing.